Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Australian Grand Prix here in Albert Park, Melbourne. This is round number 3 of the World Championship. This is season 8. This is bronze. This is Tuesday night. And whose game is it going to be tonight? Well, I'm going to be honest, I don't know, which is nothing unusual. However, the main thing tonight is that there's a new handling model, a new update basically, in a nutshell, which has caused some, a bit of flurry amongst the drivers and all that kind of stuff. Apparently, actually, I really haven't read what the change is, to be honest. But if someone can enlighten me, that is fantastic stuff indeed. 20 cars head around this circuit, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I love to bring bad news on the early part of the stream. I hate to say it's a tough day for McLaren. McLaren are Donna the Dons and Duncan Dave needs to score some points. In the joint constructors, McLaren have only got 1 point so far, which I have not, I think in my whole history of doing the joint constructors, which is about 3 seasons now, I don't think it has been this low going into like the ninth round of like a joint constructors championship. It's absolutely incredible. The only point it actually comes from Delando from that fastest lap in the opening round, I think, in Bahrain. So absolutely shocking stuff indeed so far from the McLaren team. So they got a lot of pressure on tonight, I would hazard a guess it. And talking of pressure, let's take a look at the drivers and the constructors, shall we, from the past 2 weeks or so. Oh God, I've had a can of Monster, so I'm a little like I'm hitting the ceiling. I'm loving life. Down at the dance is leading the championship with 6 points in front of Sick as Muck in second position. Rocket Lee in third, with Marsky in fourth position. Both RPs doing a good job so far. Cirrus Mushroom in fifth position with Craig R in sixth. Styles in seventh. Brilliant fifth position last time out for Styles. My driver of the day. Then we've got Slayer on 8 points. 8 points also for Smithy Almighty. 4 for FIFA Beefy, then 2 for Vintage, 2 for Dynamite Dan, Duncan Dave, Donald Dons, Ashton, Lyle Face Baby, or Joseph, TJ Hale, Swan Shanks and Moomin have all not scored yet in the Drivers' Championship. In the Constructors' Championship, have I still got time? I have indeed. Only a little though, as we've got an RB coming around the final turn, I think it is. It's not, is it an RB? Is it an RB? I don't know. Or is it? It's Craig R. Craig R then going across the line now. In the Constructors' Championship, RB leads the Constructors by 1 point from Alpine in second. 36 points for RB. 35 points for the Alpine team then. Kick Sauber on 27 points. Only 9 points adrift then. And then we have 22 points for the Haas team. 16 for the Red Bull. Williams on 15. 12 for Ferrari. 8 for Mercedes. McLaren and Aston Martin yet to score. Oh my goodness gracious me. And then of course in the joint constructors, Alpine after gold, by the way. So we haven't done silver yet because the championship standards have not been made official yet. So after gold, Alpine are on 101 points then. Haas are on 88 points, 82 points for the Aston Martin, 72 points for Williams, Mercedes on 68, 67 for RB, 62 for Kick Sauber, 53 for Red Bull Racing, 30 points for the Ferrari team, and only 1 point for the Mercedes team. So not ideal at all, then, is it? To say the least. And I keep rubbing it in because stuff like that really entices me, and hopefully entices the drivers as well to get some points on the board. I'll say Craig R, who's been superb since making his debut in bronze this season as a full-time driver. I forgot my sound on. I have indeed. It's fantastic stuff indeed. Out the final turn. Out of turn, and Craig R goes fast. And Craig R, I think, in the first 2 races have probably been quite unlucky, to be fair. But 17.8 then so far. But Jinner goes faster on the medium tyres. A 16.4 for Jinner. So this update, one of the things I've heard about this update is that it has slowed the cars down ever so slightly. So our blistering lap times of the opening 2 or 3 races, we're not going to see anymore then, because I think they're about probably 5/10 of a second slower is what I've read somewhere. Hello to Ultimate Beast. Let's go Bronze Head. Ultimate Beast doing a great job so far in the Silver Championship. And of course, last night in Silver, Gordo took a great Grand Prix win. And of course, you need to watch it. It was an absolutely superlative race. I was watching it in the comfort of my own bed there. So Nosey was struggling on. Of course, it's not very well. Unfortunately, Nosey isn't there. But hats off to him. So I must say, commentating when you're ill is horrific. Who just jumped up the order there? Duncan Dave in 4th fastest at the moment. So McLaren have got a lot of work to do tonight. We're going to be focusing on the McLaren team then. Jenna, good luck all then. Serious. Formula Moment said, woo, Sean, good luck as well. Go on, good luck, Bronze Knowles here saying, and Camera Racer Evening, Sean, hello all drivers, hello to you all there. Vintage Evening and gives a membership to German as well. I absolutely love it. Rocket Lee, evening all, good evening to you, Rocket Lee, and Sean, you are so sexy, thank you very much, and £5 into the account as well. Keep that money coming in there. And of course said I don't have to continue on my my weekend job there as standing on a street corner. As we're just watching, goodness me, we're just watching Hungry Stars. What a drive last time out there. 5th position there for Stars. Brilliant job indeed there for the Haas team. And hopefully Stars then can carry on the performance that he made last time out. And yellow flags out there. We're not going to worry about the yellow flags for the minute because this is qualifying. They just need to get out of each other's way so far. Stars had, goodness gracious me, go through the 6th kink there and on their way as well then. So I don't think we've got any major milestones tonight. And Rocket Lee's 20th Grand Prix start then, and got to say, Rocket Lee I don't think has missed a single race, I don't think, since debuting with us, which is superb stuff indeed there for Rocket Lee. So making his 20th Grand Prix start, which only seems like yesterday when Rocket Lee made his debut with us back in Bahrain of last season. So hats off to Rocket Lee, lovely stuff indeed then. Dynamo Dan goes 5th fastest at the moment now. Jinner currently fastest and by almost a second in front of Face Baby or Joseph. Incredible stuff indeed there from Jinner, and of course we was expecting pace like that from Jinner right from the get-go. Craigar has improved his time now and his position. He's up into third fastest now. Remember, this qualifying session is only qualified in bronze. Stars goes 7 fastest as well there. What about Slayer? Of course, remember the update after the round 2 last season for Slayer completely kiboshed his championship campaign. Up until that part of the season, Jake the Slayer actually had a Grand Prix win and was quite high up in the championship. Hopefully it's done the opposite effect this time. And Slayer might be able to get some points on the board from Mercedes team, currently 6th fastest at the moment. Hello to Donald Dons, good evening to you, my good sir. Sick as Mike on the medium tires, and as is Serious Mushroom as well. On board with Sick as Mike. Love the helmet design, fantastic stuff indeed there. As now then kissing the apex there, and on he goes then. Serious Mushroom also out going into the Brundle turn then, so we're going to stick with Sick as Mike for the time being. Unleashed in the kick, Sauber. Of course, the Sauber will become the Works Audi team, won't they, from 2026 onwards. Of course, talking about the real world of Formula 1, remember that Sergio Perez, and I think it was revealed over the British Grand Prix weekend, that he needs to be within 100 points of Max Verstappen and within 6th place in the championship. Well, at the moment, I think he is in 6th place of Verstappen in the championship, but I think he's over 100 points back, isn't he? And so Sergio Perez potentially could be replaced at Red Bull. Not sure, I must admit, from my point of view, I'm not sure how much I believe that, but we'll soon find out. Across the line, Sick as Muck goes 9th fastest on the medium tyres there. So Sick as Muck there as oh goodness gracious me there is good job Serious Musher. Good job Sick as Muck is not sponsored by a Rolex. Jackie Stewart would not be too happy at all with the out of the final turn. Out of the final turn, then coming up to the line now for Serious Mushroom, also on the medium tyres, out going 9th fastest there for Serious Mushroom. Of course, Jenner is now going to come out on the soft tyres, and remember he had about almost a second advantage on the medium. So Jenner now flying out there at the moment, and here comes the Duke, who is in the Aston Martin. Remember, reserve drivers are not eligible to score for the constructors teams, as of course it's a bit unfair, isn't it, really, on drivers that turn up week in week out. And then Super Reserve comes in and takes all the points for a team then. So that's the main reason why. As German has put the winking Fernando Alonso at me as well. I don't think it was at me, it was at Vintage there. As Vintage gifted German some membership. Rocket Lee, the second man into the 19s tonight there. Track Reverend, yes, potentially, but Rocket Lee is always a hot shoe when it comes to qualifying, isn't he? So Rocket Lee, I am expecting this season to get a pole position. I would actually put a cheeky bet on Rocket League getting pole position this season. I am not convinced that he will. Donald the Dons, just coming up to turn, what turn is this now? Probably 11. It is 11 there, of course. They've shifted all the corner names around, haven't they? Shocking stuff indeed. Jinner's gone fast. It's now a 16.3. I was expecting that to be a bigger improvement there from Jinner then, but not quite then. Out of the final turn, well, not quite. I mean, a 16.3 is pretty rapid still, isn't it? Out of the final turn for Don the Dons, like the helmet design as well. Across the line, Don of the Dons. The Don goes into 13th fastest. Don. Here comes Harlow Falls, which I know I pronounced wrong, to be honest, though I probably should ask the man himself, or the gentleman himself, Ed, if that's how you say it or not. Here's Vintage, my favourite driver of all time. Not because Vintage always donates his hard-earned cash then to us. It's got a lot to do with it, but also because, well, actually, no, it's not actually, because I think that Vintage on the 100% there, on the 100% there, I thought I was doing a really good job against Vintage. However, Knowlesy, on the commentary, I heard Knowlesy because I had him in the background. He said that Vintage had half his wing missing, so that made me very depressed there. So I was as quick as Vintage when Vintage had half his end plate missing, so that's great stuff indeed. And I think I was on new hards as well, so absolutely fantastic. My season is going to be very long in the 100%, I can assure you of that there, but I've got to say, Vintage's got a beautiful helmet indeed. It's a vintage helmet there. What about Dan the Dan? Dan, goodness me. Dan and the championship leader, of course. Would you say that he's the bookies' favourite for this season's championship? I say yes. He's of course got his first Grand Prix win of his career this season. Been pretty phenomenal indeed then. Of course, I think that the going through the season review, I'm sure we said that Jinner was certainly going to be up there along with Smithy Almighty and Sears Mushroom as well. But Dan and of course Dynamo Dan as well. We was expecting this team to be quite a formidable team. 4 fast at the moment for Dan, of course, currently 4 fast at the moment. Duncan Davis, loving life at the moment. 3rd fastest out for the McLaren Mercedes. Can Duncan Dave become the hero in the Papaya? With Papaya only having 1 point on the whole of the Joint Constructors Championship at the moment. They need a lot of points there. Does the Papaya team? Otherwise, well, not really. It's just going to be making it harder and harder for them to win the Joint Constructors. I think it's already going to be near enough impossible from this point on anyway. 6.5 minutes ago in this qualifying session, I'm already sweating. It's very muggy here today. I'm not sure where everyone's been in the part of the world. We've had a lot of rain in the old Gloucestershire. Oh my goodness me! Moomin there almost spun the car, and my goodness gracious me, I need to change my underpants there because I thought Moomin was going to go for a almighty spin across the line, and 16th fastest for Moomin at 18.9. There's a lot more pace in that kick Sauber, but unfortunately a mistake there for Moomin, and that back end is very happy, isn't it there? So Moomin's going to have to control that back end a bit there. Into the pits comes that real Ashton there in the Williams. And I think that Ashton's done a very good job so far this season. And hats off to Ashton there. Of course, it's a very difficult job, really, just getting to learn the car. And then unfortunately, the Codemasters decided to bring out another update. So Ashton and the rest of the drivers have been really working on their setups, really working on the control of the car. And there's a kick Sauber just in front of Stiles here. Stiles, I think, is abandoned this time there. Kick Sauber, and also Sick as Mug has abandoned their time as well. What about Duncan Dave? 4/10 of a second down the first split time, 9/10 of a second down the second split time. This is not going to be an improvement there. So I would possibly say that Dynamo Dan might have to come to the pit, so get a new set of boots on and have a final bite of the cherry in just a few moments' time. Has he got the time is the question. I'm looking in the top left-hand corner now, but there's a caution up there, and I cannot see what the time is. Now I can. 4 3/4 minutes to go. That's more than enough time. Down into the pit lane now. Search Mushroom down in 13th position. That's not where he expected the Mushroom to be. Flicks through turn 4, and on their way he goes there. You'll only improve each race, Sean. Chapper says, well, it can't get any worse than what happened last week. That's all I can say. I think I had a 3-second penalty after 4 turns. Drive-through penalty because I did have the brain capacity to slow down and to decide on where to come into the pits or not. So basically, it just shows that it's much easier being up in the commentary box there. I'll be poof. And just saying that, I should have done this, that, and the other there, just shows that basically And the only reason why I've been put in the car, I think, is so nosy he could, like, you know, show me how difficult it is. But I always knew it's very difficult to drive these cars, and of course, playing with the ERS and making sure you have enough fuel, making sure your strategy is on point, making sure that you've also got to adapt that strategy as well as not crash into your other 19 competitors. It's just too much for my brain kit to handle. Then Serious Mushroom 10 fast at the moment, onto the grass as well. Mushroom now in the Williams car. 10 for the moment for Mushroom. Has he got enough time for one more run? He may have time to come in the pits there, throw on a new set of tyres and go back out again then. Jenner, 2 hours later, the rest 2 hours later than the rest of the field. That Chappers hope you well. Weather has not been great in Worcester either. Chappers are saying, no, hasn't it? But hasn't it been muggy though? It's been absolute. It's been so close here. I must say then that I made a big mistake today. I put on a white t-shirt. By the way, I'm not on a white t-shirt anymore. I decided to put a black one on then, to mainly because I don't want to see my boob sweats at the end of this session. Yes, let's just say that my white t-shirt was rather damp, but it wasn't the rain, I can tell you that then. Of course, being a man of my stature, I don't think the summer is very too pretty for me, but that's why I live in the UK. That's why I have got some wide hips then. As Shakira says, her hips don't lie, mine certainly don't either. Ashton now flicking it through, coming to the first intermediate time now then. Ultimate Beast, come on, Serious Mushroom, 4/10 of a second down, it's the real Ashton. I reckon Ashton's backed off on this lap then. Smithy Almighty then left it very late then to come out of the pits then. Hopefully Smithy Almighty's got enough time now to get a good time on the board. Love the hammer, by the way. I love a bit of black and gold then. Serious Mushroom, that's the best he could do. Oh my goodness me. Smith Almighty, I thought he was going to spin there. Back end trying to step out. Serious Mushroom down in 10th position there. He's not going to be too happy with that, is he, Serious Mushroom? I don't think. Second sector time is coming up now then. And Smithy Almighty, that is a 44.991 there. Swanshanks are retired from the session, down in 20th position there. So Swanshanks is going to be last on the grid unless someone gets disqualified, of course. Serious, good stuff, Serious Mushroom there. Champs are saying, then we've also got ball again. Too many mistakes, Serious Mushroom is saying. It's easy on this circuit, I must say. I think that my qualifying runs, I think I've only got one right, which wasn't great anyway. I kept invalidating your time. It was so easy to do around here. Smithy Almighty, 14 fastest there, of course, for Smithy Almighty, and I was expecting a bit more there from Smithy Almighty. Am I being harsh on the driver tonight? Goodness gracious me. Oh, yes, thank you. Oh dear, oh dear. I don't know my geography, Chapter said. I'm fairly local to you. It's Wiltshire. I don't go out of Gloucestershire, to be honest, Chapter. The first I've gone, I went to Torquay actually a couple of weeks ago, and then I went up to Wales. That's as bad. And I've also been up to Leeds one time as well. Which was a miserable old place there, and enough said about that, the better, I think. I'm for the comfort of my own living room. Real Ashton, currently 18th fast amount. Harlow Falls is back out on circuit, not set a time just yet. The reserve driver, both Harlow Falls and Duke will not be scoring for the Aston Martin or Ferraris tonight there, as they are reserve drivers. Time is ticking down, time is of the essence, and Real Ashton there is going to have to, it's got one more run, one more shot, and look at them all queuing up in front. That is a conga line in front. Goodness gracious me, look at this in front of Moomin. There are so many cars, that is not ideal at all. And remember the Italian Grand Prix in 2019, Moomin invalidated his time in the wall, and oh my gosh, there, and almost the Ferrari's gone into the side of him there. Moomin there, I think that's a lot of frustration, doing his very best their very best Valtteri Bottas impression there, but Moomin unfortunately not ideal there. They was all at the finish line too close together, and that has cost them majorly. What about the Duke? The Duke goes second fastest, 3/10 of a second away from Jenner, who's currently got such a got such a good margin at the moment there. Marsky in the second RB goes sixth fastest, but it's behind his teammate. Rocket League stays fourth at the moment there. I'm looking for a Haas to come across the line. No, the Haas is coming to the pits. As has the whole face baby as well coming into the pits. I've just dribbled everywhere. Goodness gracious me. Dynamo Dan then, who's just on the final part of the lap as well. What about Rocket League? Rocket League is also in the pits. They're all falling by the wayside here. What about Duncan Dave? Duncan Dave is not though. Out to the final turn, and Duncan Dave full fastest for the McLaren. Duncan Davis loving this new handle of car. Potentially is a new handle anyway. Dynamo Dan only down in 10th position. Goodness gracious me. Dan second fastest, but it's not enough currently because Jenner's currently on pole position. Jenner's banned this time, but that might not be too bad. Craig R is the last driver. Then can he knock Jenner off his perch then and get pole position here then out the final turn then? And what can Jenner do? I'm sorry, what Craig R can do is full fast here, but it's Jenner on pole position for the Australian Grand Prix. And that is Jenner's second pole position of the season there for himself and for the Haas team. I was just looking to see how many pole positions Jenner has got in his career. Let me have a quick old look, shall we? And that's his fifth pole position of his career for Jenner. Hats off indeed there. But yeah, they were all falling by the wayside in the end. Dan is alongside him on row one. That is going to be a juicy old battle, isn't it? Down into turn one. I love that. Bring it on, I say. Bring it on. That's Haas's second pole position along with Jenner as well, because of course Jenner drives the Haas team as well. Well, that was an interesting qualifying, wasn't it? Goodness gracious me, I'm already sweating profusely. It might just be because I've had no cream cakes today, or it might be because it's quite humid, or it might be because it is so close. And 3,500 of a second separates Jenner and Dan. That is looking good for the race. Duke in third position, great stuff indeed for the reserve driver. Craig R in fourth. Fifth is Duncan Dave, great result for Duncan Dave. Rocket Lee in sixth, Marsky seventh, Dollface Baby eighth, Styles in ninth, great performance from Styles, and Dynamo Dan in 10th position. We'll be back after these short messages. We're back then from the land down under. That song is that I was about to sing that song, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed to sing the second lyrics because I'm not sure if it's appropriate, to be honest, is it? Anyway, so let's not let's not push our luck here tonight. Time for the formation lap then. A lot of hards, a lot of mediums, no softs then represented on the grid then for today's race. Fantastic stuff indeed. Right, let me get rid of all that on the laptop because this is going to get very serious indeed. So, let's go through the grid from back to front, shall we? Swan Shanks down in 20th on the grid, but he's on the hard tyres. Harlow Falls, or Fowles, let me get rid of his telemetry. 19th then, of course, the first of two reserves here tonight, or the second of two reserves, depending on how you're reading the grid. Ashton Army in 18th position on the medium tyres, and the Williams driver is. Let's see where they can come from there. Moomin in 17th position with Sim Moomin. Make a mistake in turn one there, but of course, as Knowles said in the comments there, it was like it was a flashback from Monza 2019 there, as they was all queuing up there. It was quite, I was astounded actually how a lot of them just didn't get their gap sorted. Donald Donton 16th, Vintage in 15th, of course the man, the myth, the legend Vintages, and the most starts in bronze history, with his 87th Grand Prix start today, and that is also Swan Shanks' 75th Grand Prix start tonight, which is cool stuff indeed. And of course Marsky's 73rd Grand Prix start. And there is Slayer then in 30th position on the hard tires. Sick as Muck in 12th on the hard tires. Serious Mushroom in 11th in the carbon fibre zone then on the hard tires. Dynamo Dan on the hard tires, along with Stars as well on the hard tires. There's a lot of there's a lot of drivers out of position. There's a lot of drivers that are in position to really strike and get some good points here today. They'll face Baby in 8th position. Marsky in 7th position. Rocket Lee in 6th on his 20th start. Great stuff. Duncan Dave in the McLaren in 5th position. Craig R 4th. Duke in 3rd position. Dan 2nd. Jenner on the hard tyres on pole position as they all line up on the grid now, preparing themselves for the start of the Australian Grand Prix. Round number 3 of the championship there as they all weave it from left to right to get some heat into those Pirelli tyres there. Hards and mediums then on the grid then. As you can see, there is a lovely shot going down into turn 1. Who is going to be brave enough then as we wait for those lights to come on then? 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a pause. And we are racing. And there we go. Down into turn 1 then. Jenner has kept the lead, has he? No, because Dan's alongside him. He's used that tyre advantage to his advantage. And it's through. But Jenner has somehow kept going. They're banging wheels. They're banging wheels. The 2 leaders. But Dan takes the lead of the Australian Grand Prix. And he's all over the gearbox of the Alpine. And as they go into the Brandon turn, he finds. Is he going to take the lead? No. Dan slams no shot on the toes of the Ars car. And then we got Duke in 3rd position, Craig R 4th, Duncan David 5th, Marsky followed by Rocket Lee. Contact in the wall! Was that Sickers Mount there? There's contact without face, maybe potentially. And there might be Anarchy down there. And Donald has made his way through the field. Was that debris? I said that as I was looking at the tower. Oh my goodness gracious me then. And I'm getting very cozy at turn 3 there. And now as we got back in, it's Dan and all over the gearbox because Generous kept the lead then as we go into turn 9 and 10. Where is that? I'm sure I saw there's I thought they was going side by side, which would have been very interesting indeed then. But Jenner has kept his lead then, and Duke all over the gearbox now the Alpine then. Craig R in 4th position at there. Of course, Craig R has been so quick this in the opening stage of the season, has had a couple of mishaps and hopefully have a clean race there. Duncan Dave, superb qualifying. Can he get this into a good result as well? Coming to complete lap 1 then. Out of 29 here then, around Albert Park then. Of course, this is round 3 of the Bronze Championship across the line then. And no DRS yet, but there is now going to be DRS on this lap, and there's already slipstream going on. Look at this. Jenner just weaving slightly on the straight there. Well, not really weaving, just trying to break the slipstream there, which is all fine and dandy. Duncan Dave almost off the circuit. I think he was, to be honest. And Marsky has now gone. Oh, contact there. Goodness gracious me, that as they make contact on the straight there. Marsky on the outside takes 5th position. Duncan Dave down into 6th there. And what about Rocket Lead in 7th position? At the moment there, all fine and dandy. Serious Mushroom will up the big gearbox of Styles. Remember, these drivers in the mid-pack then are all on the hard tyres. Donald the Don's at 5 positions, down 5 positions, down with Dan. Terrible start for the second Alpine. The other Alpine is currently in 2nd position at the moment there, which is not a bad start, I would say. Then DRS has now been enabled then, as this is going to get very fine and dandy then on this one there. And look at that, is that Mushroom on the outside of Styles out into turn 9. Good stuff indeed there for Mushroom there. Not ideal there for Styles, down into 9th position there. Another dose of DRS then, but there's a lot of DRS and Marsky's already out DRS at the top 4. Not ideal then. Duke all over the back there. Dan wants to get back the lead, which he had momentarily on the opening few laps or so as he comes to complete lap 2 here in Australia. Then of course there's beautiful sunshine we've had all week here. My goodness gracious me. Usually we have a bit of a drizzle of the wet stuff, but that's not been the case this season, has it? Dan is taking the lead then, going down into the is it the Jones chicane? Potentially contacts there as Jenner had to turn in, I suppose, but that is, they go very close there. Here comes Duke then on the outside as well at the Haas car, but Jenner back at the inside. No, not quite. And there's some door shut. And look, Marsky then. There was a second between 4th and 5th position. That is completely shrunk then. That is how difficult it is to break the slipstream around here with so many DRS zones in it. I'm spluttering all over the show here. Give me a bib. Wow, incredible stuff indeed then. Of course, there's a DRS train right away from 1st all the way down to 11th position then. And of course then Moomin has got his own got their own DRS train from 12th all the way down to 20th at the moment. Here comes what about Dan? So Dan currently leads the way at the moment. And of course he does have the tyre advantage, doesn't he? But as Jenner is going to go long into this race, and no safety cars. Safety cars can be quite a high, can be quite high around here. Slayer's got the first penalty of this race. Slayer is through though past Moomin. As we've got 2 cars at the back of the field there. We've got a lot of overtake going on whilst I was looking at the front then. And what about Styles is still in 10th position then, repelling the attack of the Aston Martin. We've got Smithy Almighty down in 16th position there. Donald Dons has dropped down a couple of positions in the last time we seen him update. Last time we did an update. Smithfield Mighty, not ideal at all. Back at the front then, and I've missed the lead. Missed the overtake for the lead. Shocking stuff indeed there, Mr. Director. Goodness gracious me, shoddy work indeed. Smithfield Mighty in 15th position. They're going back to this front here because this is where it's getting very. Oh, Craigar on the outside. There's contact in those horses. A mess into turn 3, and my goodness gracious me. Did Craigar misses the breaking point now? It was all kind of happened there, right in front of us there. Not ideal. Hopefully the cars haven't got damaged there, but that is not ideal at all. Down into the Brundle turn. Oh my goodness gracious me. Craigar braked a bit later then, and then the Aston Martin went into the back of the car in front. I think it was Dan, wasn't it? Oh dear, that's not ideal at all. Here comes that face baby on the medium compound tyres now. Marsky has got past. No, Duncan Dave's got past. Number the third position. Duncan Dave, I think, has got 2 podiums in his bronze career. Can he get a third here tonight? Fantastic. However, only on lap 4 of this Grand Prix at the moment, but it's fast and furious stuff, but really good stuff indeed then. Duke down into 8th position. Craigar in the Duke then, unfortunately. Whoa! As that face baby had to steer out before going back in then. As a great overtake, I think, from that face's point of view, but I'm not sure if Hungry Star is going to think the same with that then. Moomin having issues there. Moomin is crawling then. Ghosting Moomin is. And we got, as goodness gracious me. And oh goodness me, as Harlow is right in there. In the side of the car of Moomin is, oh goodness gracious me. These are the single seaters Harlows. On board with Duncan Dave dropping out of third position then. And look at that then, Jenner's now extended the gap then up to a second then, out of DRS then, as is Dan over Marsky. So now it's Duncan Dave, but it's Marsky followed by Duncan Dave, followed by Rocket Lee. Serious Mushroom all up in the grill of Rocket Lee as well in 6th position. Great recovery from Serious Mushroom after a very disappointing qualifying. But that's it though, qualifying, you get no points, do you? Points are scored in the race there. Currently, 2 drivers got penalties at the moment. Moving, unfortunately, as has Slayer as well. But of course, this circuit is very penalty heavy. So do not get too disgruntled by those penalties, because later on there'll be a lot more. And it's sick as mug. Goodness gracious me, the Duke has left the session there, as that was getting very precarious. Duke has left the session. Hopefully Duke can get back in there, because Duke had the pace there. And now we've got the second Aston Martin on the outside. Oh goodness me, and sick as mug slamming the door shot on the toes there of Loudface. But Duke is going to be quite disappointed to have lagged out the session at this point there, because he was on course for points, and albeit it was looking much better than it was about 3 or 4 laps ago. But unfortunately, it's like that session. Hopefully they can get back in pronto. Down 3-second penalty. Feel the understeer on that Red Bull on the RB there. Goodness gracious me, that the Rocket League's car just refusing to turn in that on the outside. On the outside there, is Duncan Dave going to run about wide? He does. He gives him a car's whip there. And hard but fair racing. I love that. That's fantastic indeed. But now Serious Mushroom doesn't care. He just wants to get past both drivers here. Duncan Dave defending beautifully there. And of course, now we've got Craigar, who was in the podium place earlier on this race there. Unfortunately, had a problem with himself, himself and the Duke here. And here comes Craigar. We're going to go up front because Rocket Lee on the outside. Duncan Dave cannot defend that then. On the outside part, he goes through then. Craigar having a sniff, but nothing more than that on Duncan Dave. Duncan Dave is down into 5th position now. Can Craigar recover and get himself back up the order then? He's doing a good job at the moment though, isn't he? As we've got Harlow Falls set up into 16th position. They get past Duke, who is falling down like a stone at the moment. And here comes Dynamo Dan, recovering nicely after an appalling start up into 11th position now. Smithfield Macho appalling qualifying, but he's up to 12. Fantastic stuff indeed there. Great stuff from both drivers coming through the field there. That face baby has been off the circuit there by the looks of things. He's got all gravel on the circuit there. Not ideal there. However, that face baby is not going to be too concerned about his adversaries. He's concerned about getting himself back on track and back in the race there. Jenner leads by almost 2 seconds now. Yellow flag. What is happening? And it's a yellow flag down in where? And it's Moomin having issues there, and Ashton also having issues at the back of the field. Unfortunately, Jinner currently lead by 2 seconds now, almost from Dan Marsky, followed by Rocket Lee. RB have been very good so far. Then. Evening, guys, from Kiki. Hello to you, Kiki. Of course, Kiki had a difficult race last night, didn't it? But I think, did you get past that point? I can't remember, to be honest. But Kiki disappointed in the end there, Kiki is. But of course, one of the legends of bronze from last season. season there. And here comes Craig R, who potentially become one of the legends of bronze from this season at the moment. He does have some pace, Craig R does that, but he's had a bit, he's been a bit unfortunate. Marski, 3-second penalty, that's not ideal. Dan's got one as well, I believe. So not ideal at all for the top, for 2 of the top 3 in this Grand Prix so far. Penalties are going to be winner is going to win or lose the Grand Prix in this one. Back on board with Craig R, understeer City again here in Melbourne. And my goodness me, Rocket League going very wide there. Dan has become the cork in the ball now. Jinner is wandering off and is loving life. Ben whilst Marski, who's looking very fine at the moment, then out of the slipstream, then yellow flag as we got an issue then with one of the RBs. It's vintage off the circuit. No, it's the real RB. It's Red Bull this time, down into 18th. Duncan Dave is dropped down into 6th position. And Cirrus Mushroom is now all over the gearbox around the Williams car. Can he get himself up into 4? Not quite there. Duncan Dave locking up the inside tyre. Duncan David is on the quicker tyre, but I'm now thinking that maybe the softer, the medium tyres are starting to get to the limit of their own grip and their performance, and now maybe the hard tyres is the more preferred tyre to be on, as they've had to go through a bit of warm-up, but now, and a bit of scrubbing, but now they're looking all fine and dandy at this moment, aren't they? Great stuff did that, as Dan is going to be feeling a bit of the pinch here, or is he? Because he's got a lovely slipstream there, hasn't he? No, he hasn't. He's got no DRS, and Marski's already out DRS. On the outside then, Rocket Lee up in the third position. Serious Mushroom past Duncan Dave. Yes, he's done it. Can Duncan Dave, oh, he'll have DRS and he will try and come back at him quickly. Sick as Muck is on a great scrap in the background as well. On the outside goes Duncan Dave, but no dice. Styles superbly in this 8th finish there. Don't face and Sick as Muck, 9th and 10th finish at the moment. Oh my gosh, there's cars all over the show here. So, Jenner's now got a 2.3 seconds. He's found another 0.3 of a second on this lap alone there. Marski is now out of DRS range of Rocket Lee. Rocket Lee is almost out of DRS range of Dan. Dan is struggling on those tyres there. As Dan's tyres giving up the ghost then already. Craig R is through. No, not quite then, because Dan is hanging out on the outside. However, he's not in prime position to defend into the Brandle turn, and Craig R is through and up into 4th position there. Serious Mushroom also steaming through as well, and goodness gracious me, Serious Mushroom over to 5th position, Dan down into 6th there. Dan there, unfortunately, it's like he's being swarmed all over now. I've lost my voice. Marski has had an issue somewhere. Marski's had an issue somewhere. There's a second McLaren off the circuit. It's Don the Dons. I say, goodness me, I'm combining people's names there. Unfortunately, Nakajima crashed there in 2009 there. So so he's joining the Hall of Fame for the Williams team that has Don the Dons. So Don is the McLaren team, so that doesn't make no sense at all. Good race again from Styles. Cameron saying he's done a cracking race so far. Styles isn't remembered. Styles is on the slower tyre at this moment in time, or is he? Because now then the performance of tyres is now swapping around. The medium tyre is probably a bit more worse for wear now, which means the harder tyre is the more preferred race tyre. Jenner's gap is now up to 4 seconds, 4.1 to be exact. Then he is flying away. Rocket Lee up into 2nd position now. We did not see what happened to Marski. Marski did have a second advantage over his teammate, but has made a mistake surely. And now we got Craig R, who is steadily going through the field after having issues down into the Brundleton with the Duke, who's unfortunately out of this race at the moment. That'll face baby contact between That'll face baby and Sick as Muck there. They forced each other off the circuit. And oh dear, we did not see that. Was that a late lunge then for That'll face baby? Oh, we're Sick as Muck there. Giving as good as he gets down into turn 1 and 2. Not ideal at all. That looked a bit messy, to be fair. We only seen the end of that, unfortunately. And also the second final of the Euros is on as well. Good stuff indeed. But thank you very much for joining us. My goodness gracious me. But quite a lot of viewers in here tonight. Danker is all I say. Fantastic stuff indeed. Even though we're in Australia. So, we're in Australia. Maybe I should say put another trip on the Barbie. On the outside goes Craig R. And, oh! No, because Marski is still through and still stays in that third position. Great defending there from Marski. I thought they was going to come together and have an absolute almighty instant there, but no, definitely not there. These are one of the finest drivers in Formula 1 2024. Fantastic stuff indeed. Slayer is past Smithy Almighty. Oh, Smithy Almighty though is having a bit of a spin there. Did he get a helping hand from Dynamite Dan there, or did Smithy Almighty just ask too much of the rear tyres? in that Ferrari there, but both Ferraris are now sandwiching that Alpine. Now Dynamo Dan probably wants to be out of that meet in that sandwich. Down in turn one once again, and the gap is now 4.7 seconds. Ginner is starting to waltz away. Remember, this is Ginner's MO when he was when he was champion for bronze then a couple of seasons ago. Now we heard that beat then, because Rocket Lee is in major peril then, and through goes Marsky, but Rocket Lee going up the inside then. The two RBs then, are they going to be helping or hindering each other here? Yellow flag then when the kick salvages off the circuit at the back of the field. And Marsky is now through. Swanshank's getting a 3-second penalty into the pits. Comes down to the Donson. I think that's the first scheduled stop of this Grand Prix. Oh, Vintage came in the pits as well. I apologise profusely. Vintage is also in the pits in the Red Bull. Here comes Craig R. Craig R can smell blood in the water. Then, of course, very much there is sharks out here. And oh my goodness me! Oh gosh, there's an incident there, and it's a huge smash between the two RPs. Oh, there's collision. Duncan Davis out of the circuit, off the circuit then, and goodness me, 3 into 1 does not go. That's a horrific smash there. Duncan Dave out of the race. Both RPs are in serious trouble, and that is not good. Oh my goodness gracious me, that is a horrific shunt there, and both RBs have lost a lot of time then. Ginner in the pits, and safety car is out, the race leader's in the pits. That is a major blow there for Duncan Dave. He was having a superb race there. Both RBs were as well. Craig R was also involved then, as Craig R got damaged then. Ginner in the pits on the medium tires. Is that going to get him to the end then? They might be a bit worse for wear there. A camera racer, wow. Yes, indeed it was, wow. Serious Mushroom on the medium tires as well. Styles in the pits. Haas are doing so well at the moment. Unfortunately for Styles, that's not ideal. Craig R, don't think had any damage at all. Goodness gracious me. Then out of the pits now comes Dan on the hard tires. Is Dan now in the box seats, do you reckon? We'll look at that incident again in just a few moments. Sick as Mug is up in new 6th position. Slayer 7th. 8th position Smithy Almighty. 9th is Marsky. 10th is Alface set with Dynamo Dan and Harlow Falls in 11th and 12th position. Swanshanks coming out of the pits in that Mercedes. Rocket Lee all the way down in 14th position now. That's a horror show for RB. And Craig R trying to go through the middle. Was that just too much there? Craig R? Did Craig R put his nose in where it shouldn't have been? Where it shouldn't have been there. Goodness me. Busher was like Frank said, I'm up for tomorrow. Kiki is saying that. Well, thanks, they were sketched then. Goodness gracious me. Duncan Dave's original take on it is that he has no words then. And he was the only DNFer was Duncan Dave, because Duncan Dave wasn't even involved in that incident to begin with. What's it? It was the two RBs and the Red Bull of Craig R. My goodness gracious me. Do you think the RB should have given Craig R more room then on the outside? It's very narrow, that part of the circuit. Should one of them have backed out then? Potentially. But who should have backed out is another question as well then, of course. Luckily, I'm not a steward there. So hands up in the air, I don't know. But what a shame though for Duncan Dave there, because what a performance so far. He was doing a fantastic stuff indeed then. As Formula Moment saying that the hearts could go to the wind. Oh, end. Oh dear. Duncan Dave, absolute devastation by the looks of things from those emojis. I'm absolutely heartbroken. I'm crestfallen there for Duncan Dave. Is that the right word? Crestfallen there because the McLaren driver is doing superbly well. Wrong place, wrong time there. Duncan Day was not even involved in that battle for second position at the time. Then Aston Martin safety cars at the moment. Bert Mylander then is out in the pit, and now this is a golden opportunity then for the likes of Moomin, Real Ashton Army, and Vintage to get themselves back into this race there. On board now with Ginevra. Take stock now because the strategy is all up in the air. Hard tires we heard from Slayer can go to the end. Can the medium tires go to the end is the question then. Real hard runners like me are screwed then. Have to box again. Oh goodness gracious me. Two cars across the track and they didn't go to Duncan Dave saying that is so unfortunate there, isn't it, for Duncan Dave? Well, Duncan Dave is certainly not to blame because that was just wrong place, wrong time then. Or do we even have to lay the blame at some story? Is that just a racing incident? Goodness gracious me. I've been watching too much real Formula 1 lately, haven't I? Good gracious me. There doesn't always have to be a blame to be a claim and all that kind of stuff. But luckily, Farf is going to be the man with the hammer and being the judge, jury, and executioner. If he needs to be the executioner, that is. Camaro. Also, the mediums could go easy to the end if you have full tire pressure there. Ooh, interesting. I think Serious Mushroom told me about that full tire pressure thing as well, which I got to remember to do tomorrow night, of course. Then. Which, of course, tomorrow night is the 100% race in Japan. Yes, of course, if you want to see more suffering from my point of view, then yes, just watch tomorrow's race. It's sure it's going to be great. I will be at the back of the field because I can't do the S's very well. Or the 130R, or the triangle chicane, or the spoon curve. What can I do very well? None of the Degnas. Maybe the pit lane? Fantastic. Right, let's get back racing, shall we? Safety cars in now at the end of this lap then. So, the top three are on on hard tires. That's our second retirement. Duke is not in this race at the moment now, unfortunately, as fallen out of the race. And Jenner's gone now. Serious Mushroom up in the second position. Craig are in third. Fourth is Dan. Fifth position is Stars. Great performance with Sigma. Followed by Slayer, Smith, Almighty, Marsky, Loud Face Baby. That is the top 10 at the moment. And here we go again then. Lap 14 in the race. Half distance here in Melbourne. Into turn one then. There's Jenner then. Jenner leads. Second position is Mushroom. Craig are in third. Dan in fourth position with Styles in fifth. But look who's all over the gearbox of it. As Moomin back in the pits. And I'm surprised Moomin didn't pit then in the safety car. And look at this. Stickers back up the inside. Contact there. Bit of rubbing there between the Haas and the Kicksauber. More contact there. It's getting very robust in the car park. And through up in the fifth position goes Stickers back then. Styles down to sixth. And can Slayer also take the opportunity here? Goodness gracious me. Getting very robust indeed. Contact there, of course, it's very quick that turn 6 is now, and that may have caught Slayer out ever so slightly, but Marsky then is trying to become on a comeback now, because both RBs are quick. Have they sustained any damage to the floor or to the side parts of that car is the question I want to know, because Marsky and Rocket Lee are going to be strong, because that was an almighty shot. And what about Craig R as well? I think he's got some damage as well, because he's a second and a quarter away from Serious Mushroom there. Not ideal, put it mildly. And Marsky not quite then, as he stays back at the moment then. And I'll face Baby in 10th position, Dynamo Dan in 11th, Hart follows in 12th position, Swan Shanks and followed by Rocket Lee. Duke is not in this race, Vintage Ashton, and we've got Moomin down in the backfield, and then Moomin, I'm surprised he didn't pit there, but I'm working. Whoa, look left, it's Serious Mushroom going past. Serious Mushroom takes the lead of the Australian Grand Prix. Where did that come from? The Mushroom is just taking the lead, but Jenner's coming back at him, going down into turn 3, and Jenner has retaken the lead then. And goodness gracious me, gentlemen, keep your cars clean. Oh goodness gosh, oh my word. Mushroom now took the lead there, and goodness, I think that certainly would have surprised Jenner potentially. It certainly surprised me, but Serious Mushroom will have DRS now, won't he? And he'll have a chance going into 9 and 10 then. On board once again with Serious Mushroom. Great drive so far from the midfield, from 11th on the grid there, and Jenner then is going to have to get defensive here then, because Jenner built up such a good lead then up until that safety car. That is the problem, isn't it? In these races, and safety cars can come from any angle, any angle at the moment then. And we got Stars on the out. Look at Steve, my goodness me, that's RB on the outside. And Smith Almighty did that's a great race, and I love that. That's fantastic. Oh my goodness gracious me. And now we got Marskin and Tuckett on the inside, back on the underneath the gearbox of the Ferrari. What driving there. Smith Almighty gave him just about enough room. Gave him an RB's car's width there. But as Donna the Don's there recovering after, I think what possibly would have been a spin there. Look at this, as Jenner once again trying to break the slipstream down into turn 1 there. This time around, I think Jenner was more aware of that. Dan and 1.1 seconds back at the moment. Of course, on those hard tires, the race will come back out. Dan, I'm sure, in the Alpine. Remember, the championship leader at the moment there. Does he need to make gains at this stage of proceedings? I'm not too sure. I'm not a racer, but it's too early, isn't it, to think about the championship? Surely? I'm not sure. I'm not a racer. Well, no, I am. Oh, contacts there with Smith and watching Marsky there is once again, they was close. They were so close there in turn 9 and 10. And they was actually touching each other then coming into 4 and 5. And my word there, it is getting very precarious indeed. Who is leader of this gaggle of cars is actually Smith. There's Swan Shanks off the circuit, and then Slayer has gone through. Slayer is through, up into 5th position. Yes, what a maneuver! And he's up into 5th position. Serious Mushroom lost out to Craig R. Into the far part of the circuit as well. The goodness me, there's cars all over the show here into, oh my god, contact! And oh my word, then that's the Mornoff Sound Face, baby. Swan Shanks got a 3-second penalty, getting very fraught in the midfield. field here, isn't it? As the drivers are starting to take a bit more risks here. As Marsky, they're trying to get past Styles as well. Styles has dropped down a few positions since we last seen him. Across the line they come again. Serious Rush is down the third position. We did not see that on stream because we're watching this battle here. Now, Slayer hasn't got the pace there to break this DRS. I don't think he does at the moment now. Styles has got a 3-second pole as well. The pounds is going to start racking up. Swanshanks into the pits there. That'll face Baby Joseph has got no damage, so he's still out on circuit. And Styles had let him through Marsky. Of course, I'm wondering then if he may have damage as well. Hopefully not, because Styles has been driving a superb race so far. On board with Sickers Mutton. Styles is dropping down. What's happened? Styles is dropping down. Oh no! Styles has had a superb race, and there's problems for the Haas car. And I'm not sure. I can't see any damage there, but there must be something there. The Haas is crawling. That is not good at all. That is on crestfallen again. Then two drivers of Duncan David and Styles on a superb racer. Sick as muck is through. And past he goes. And what about this battle behind? I was having a look at it. Is Marsky and Smithfield Mighty both on the hard tires, both expected to be in the ascendancy in the next few laps or so. Harlow Falls up into 9th position. I got points last time out, and Harlow Falls is really starting to find his feet in bronze, doing a good job there. Unbeknownst to us, then really coming through the field whilst we've been watching all the action behind or in front. Then, oh my word. So, gap in the front, it's only 4/10 of a second. And there they are. Then Craig are sniffing out, but nothing more than that. Then Serious Mushing there, just keeping an eye. Then we got Dan down in 4th position. All in loads of them. And 2 seconds behind the top 3. 4 seconds in front of 5 seconds in front of this gaggle here. And then this is where the party really gets crazy. So, Sick as muck getting penalties out and somehow keeping it pointed in the right direction. Oh my goodness me. Now then, there's Smithfield Mighty there. I'm going to look then down into... No, not quite then. And look at all these drivers here then, from 4th all the way down to 8th position. All has penalties at this moment in time then. And they're all crawling all over the gearbox of each other. And lap 18 out of 29 here. These laps are starting to fly by here. But unfortunately for these drivers, and time is of the essence now. They got to start to climb up the order. They got to really start to get out of these DRS trains if they can then, because these penalties are going to be costing it. Jenner's lost the lead because Craig R has taken the lead. Then on the outside, passes the Haas driver. And here he goes then. And Swanshank's got a 3-second penalty. Smithfield Mighty and Slayer is also... Oh no! And into the wall down. Slayer off the circuit. And he's in the wall. Damage to the car. And now we got Rocket Lee, who's also in fault as well. So Marsky is struggling. On the outside goes Dynamo down. Yes, he's done it. He's got all more contact than the CRB. May have lost his front wing there because there. No, he's still got his end plate. And now going on the outside. Oh, that's a spin. And both RBs have come together again. Then goodness me, it's civil war here in Albert Park. Ginnery takes the lead going into turn 1 whilst it's all action behind us. Well, good gracious me. Craig R's got a 3-second penalty. That is crucial for the outcome of this Grand Prix. Oh my gosh, my goodness gracious me, what's going on there? I have no idea at the moment now. It's been an absolute crazy race. So, Craig Arden, how many pounds he got? I think that's his first 3-second penalty, is it? I'm not sure. Smithfield Mighty, I'm in 6th position then. I must say, whoever is going to put the driver of the day or war, Jenner's off the circuit! Oh my goodness me! Jenner is off the circuit, and my gosh, the former race leader is jumped on in the full position. He's off the podium. He is crawling now. Smithfield Mighty is all over the back of Sick as muck. No, he is through. He is. Oh gosh. Marsky's got past Dynamo down as well. Goodness gracious me, gentlemen, could you please show some decorum? I am absolutely sweating profusely in this comms box here tonight. Oh, I think I've got a bum print on me poof here tonight as well. Goodness gracious me. Craig R leads, down in 2nd position. Serious Mushroom in 3rd. Serious Mushroom is on course to win this Grand Prix at the moment there. Has Serious Mushroom won a Grand Prix in bronze? No, he hasn't. He has won a Grand Prix in silver, hasn't he? Back in that Japanese Grand Prix. Can Serious Mushroom get a Grand Prix win here tonight? Remember, he has won in Formula 2 as well. Has Serious Mushroom. He has experience of leading Grand Prix, but he's never won a Grand Prix in a bronze so far. My goodness gracious me. Going down into turn 1, Craig Dan has taken the lead then. Dan, of course, the championship lead. That's damage to Craig R. So has Craig R and Jenner come to blows then in this Grand Prix? Because that looks very suspicious then for the Red Bull car. And goodness me, that is not ideal at all. Jenner is got no pounds movement's got a 3-second penalty. The Sick as Muck is struggling there, and Sick as Muck has got damage. Well, I'm not surprised because there's been a bit of dodgem cars going on out on the track today. There's been a lot of rumbling, and I must say that these cars are very robust, but they are not that robust. Serious Mushroom then is all over the back of Craig. Craig, oh, Mushroom there, almost losing the car. Good driving indeed, then up in the fourth now, as Jinner, oh, contact there between Jinner and Smithfield Mikes there. Jinner is struggling on those medium tyres then, and I think it's lost a lot of pace then after what I may assume may have been contact between Craig and Jinner, or was it just unfortunate? The inside goes Dynamo down, but no, because here comes Marsky back on the outside, inside, outside, I don't know. But Marsky up in the 7th position, Rocket League in 9th position, Hollow Falls in 10th, and Stars still has a chance of some major points in this race, because it is all still going on in this one. What an incredible race this has been here tonight there. My goodness gracious me then. Wow, absolutely astonishing stuff. There's a bit of grass on the cam here. Don the Don's has just got past Slayer, who's gone onto the soft tyres, and I think that there might be a late safety car here. There's only 2 retirements in this race, and Duke out of the race lagged out, and then Duncan David, who was a part of, wrong place, wrong time is all I can say. The contact between Craig R and the 2 RBs, an almighty shunt, and that cost, and that unfortunately Duncan Dave just drove into the side of the cars whilst they weren't ghosted, and he couldn't avoid it because it was this part of the circuit here. Goodness gracious me. Dan is still leads the race, but is currently not leading the race in terms of time. That is Serious Mushroom, who has got no penalties at the moment now. Jenner dropping down into 5th position now, trying to get back past Smithfield Mighty, who also has penalties as well. Look at this gaggle of cars behind here, then as you can see then there's a queue starting to form behind Sickers Muck, because Sickers Muck has got damage to the end plate there. There is the damage there on the left hand side in the kick Sauber, and that is just going to look at that. Then he's lost a second here. Jinner is in the pits, and so Jinner is in the pits, and so the damage, whatever damage he's got on that Haas car is not sustainable. He has to come into the pits, and with just 7 laps to go, Jinner, who was on pole position by it's who's that? That's Rocket League off the circuit, and coming back on then, and has to take evasive action, and his Stars is through. Whoa, is Rocket Leader getting a bit frustrated there, as it has been quite a brutal old Grand Prix down under in Australia here tonight, hasn't it? Goodness gracious me. Sickers Mutt then is still the cork in the bottle here, because he got damage to the end plate there. Craig R's got damage as well, but hats off to Craig R, because somehow he is staying up with is staying on pace with Dan, of course, leading the championship, and currently is not winning this race up, but is extended to in the World Championship, which is definitely what he wants. But I think that Dan also wants to win here at the early stage of this Grand Prix. Swanshanks has got a 10-second penalty. Dynamo Dan, then the other Dan in the other Alpine now, having a look at 6th position now. Sickers Muck, there he is, limping up. Where's Junai here, Ross? He's out in 13th position now. He'll be going very quick now. On the outside goes Dynamo. Has he done it? No, Sickers Muck coming back through. Then just about more banging wheels there. And oh goodness me! And trying to cut across the circuit there, but Dynamo Dan there is just about get out of the way. Sickers Muck there getting very elbows out there, isn't he? As he wants to defend his 6th position there. I don't think that Dynamo Dan could have disappeared at that incident potentially, or should he have backed out because he was on the outside? I'm going to sit on the fence. Serious Mushroom is now putting pressure on Craig R in the battle for 3rd and 4th position. No, he isn't. He's through. Serious Mushroom is through. Craig R is off the circuit. There's also Mercedes off as well. Serious Mushroom is through. That is perfect now for the Mushroom. He just needs to keep within the time of Dan, and that is 6 seconds. Serious Mushroom has to stay within 6 seconds then of the race leader then to win the first ever bronze race of his career. Then goodness gracious me, then whilst he's all had to keep behind, then can the Mushroom now hold on with just on the medium tire, so it's going to be a stretch, isn't it there? Dan's on the preferred race tire at the moment, and here comes Dynamo Dan on the grass. He's through up into 6th position there. Sickers Mutt then is dropping down to 7th, and Sickers Mutt then damage to the car, and that's why he's lost a load of pace, and Sickers Mutt has it. Otherwise, I think Sickers Mutt will be very much up there, and here Sickers Mutt then no DRS, but that doesn't deter him, does it? And having a look, not quite that. Rocket League almost into the back of the Ferrari of Hollow Falls here. Hungry Stars also having a sniff as well. Driver of the day is up then with just 6 laps to go. Mushroom, Dan, Craig R and Smithfield Mighty for driver of the day. Get your votes in, but how you haven't set. And into the pits now comes Sickers Mutt, and Sickers Mutt then hung out for as best he can, but unfortunately the damage is just too much at this stage. Why is Sickers Mutt Final with a damaged front wing. Camaro is saying that it's cost a lot of time, hasn't it? Sigmund, as Jinner is now flying through and is now to 11th position. He's 8.8 seconds, 8.9 seconds away from 10th position now. He is on soft tyres though, and he's going to be quicker than a hiccup here. Serious Mushroom then is currently 4 seconds, dropped 2 seconds in the last couple of laps. I reckon those medium tyres have gone off for Serious Mushroom. Dan Danton has got a 6-second penalty. Serious Mushroom now is still getting pressure from Craig R. No, he isn't. He's passed back through Serious Mushroom. I think that the tyres are struggling on that Williams car. Unfortunately, Harlow falls up into 6th position. Magnificent stuff indeed there. Dynamo Dan then. Rocket Lee is now up into 6th position. Oh, contact there, kissing the Ferrari. Harlow falls, got to take a face of action. He does take a face of action there. Goodness gracious me. And now he's going to be in the clutches of Styles here. Styles may be hungry for 8th position there. Terrible putt, I know. And that is not ideal for Serious Mushroom, is it? Serious Mushroom then currently in 3rd position. Maybe Serious Mushroom might be happy at this podium because he drove superbly well. So, oh, and that's Rocket Lee. Oh dear, and that's how easy it is to lose the car. And Rocket Lee, who's had the performance again, but unfortunately not able to transfer it into points there. And Rocket Lee, I do feel his frustration on that one now. Marsky all over the gearbox now of the Ferrari. And Smithy Almighty is on the hard tyres here, as is Marsky actually. Driver of the day vote is still out. And Moomin, Mushroom is driver of the day so far. 100%. Dan Craig and Smithy is also in for driver of the day as well. So the top, so out of the top 5, only Serious Mushroom does not have any penalties so far. And I'm wondering if Serious Mushroom might actually think, well, actually, Craig R has the pace at the moment, so maybe I can just latch onto the rear of that Red Bull, and he can tow me along then. Harlow falls then up into 6th position. Good day for Ferrari. However, of course, for reserve drivers, do not score points then, which is going to be harsh for the Scuderia tonight then. And our face baby then, of course, also having a bit of a rough old race as well. Goodness gracious me, I think all drivers, I'm surprised we've still got 18 drivers left in this race. Of course, Duke out of this race a long time ago. Swanshanks has got 1 minute of penalties. How on earth has that gentleman got 1 minute of penalties? Wow, incredible! I've never seen 1 minute of penalties in my league race in a lifetime. My goodness gracious me, Swanshanks. It is a brutal old race for penalties, I must say. And I think the Swanshanks is probably frustrated because that Mercedes car did not look very happy after we seen a bit of contact earlier on then. So the damage to that Mercedes. Swanshanks out of the race there, and it's a VSC then to really put us on our toes here. Now, the question is this going to hurt the media at the hard runners because they're going to take a little longer to fire up there? Swanshanks out of the race. I think a safety car would have been beautiful for Serious Mushroom, would have been heartache for Dan and Craig R. But we'll soon see how this one transpires. So is anyone going to make a dive into the pits? And Slayer has, and Slayer's also chasing the nose cone as well. It's been, I've got to say, it's been a very rough and tough Australian Grand Prix. Ignore the gaps at the moment there, because the gaps are going to be all over the place due to the VSC, which is out at the moment. Dan leads. Dan leads it. 2nd position is Craig R. We're back racing here. So Dan leads at the moment. Now, of course, so as it stands, he is not the winner of the Australian Grand Prix. That is Serious Mushroom with just 3 laps to go in this one there. As you'll see stuff now. Smithy Almighty is currently into a superb 4th position. A great drive from Smithy Almighty. And actually, look, Smithy Almighty could get on the podium here because I didn't realise how close they were to the 2nd and 3rd position. They're just in front of us here. Harlow Falls, great drive so far on his own now. So I think he'll be quite happy with that because Dynamo Dan. Whoa, who's that in the background? That's Jitter off in the background there. Of course, so Schumacher crashed there in 2005, I believe. Coulthard's also been off there in the qualifying of 2004. It's very easy to do, but Jitter there, very frustrated there because today, of course, he's had the pace to be on the podium at the very least there. And I think he was favoured to win this race as well after qualifying. I do at all. I've just bit my tongue. Ow. That probably tells me to shut up, Sean. Goodness gracious me. Of course, votes, keep your votes coming in. Then, of course, got five votes for drawing today. Really good stuff indeed. Of course, also give the stream a like and all that kind of stuff as well, as it really helps the channel out and all that kind of stuff, I believe, anyway. Whoa, is that contact? That is. And on then, Styles is through. Oh, my goodness me. And there's more overtaking. On the grass goes Alface, baby. Goodness gracious me. Oh, I'm the only driver I know that had DRS in that. Oh my word! I don't know who had driver. Oh my gosh! And he's on the outside there, and Dynamo down back through and into not 8th position there. 9th is Alface baby. I have a feeling that Farf is going to be. Is that a slow Ferrari? No, it isn't. I thought Harlow Falls was struggling now. But Harlow Falls has done a good job in 6th position. That's a great performance so far, the Ferrari driver. I think the Farf is going to be very busy in this one. So, currently, it's Dan who leads this race. And 2nd position is Serious Mushroom. There's Dollface having another look there, going down into the Brundle turn, or turn 3. My word there, 17 cars remain. Hats off to Moomin for keeping with it, because it's been a tough old race for Moomin, as the safety car has been good to Moomin here tonight there. Look at, oh my gosh there, and Serious Mushroom there did, I'm not sure if someone tagged him there, but now look at this, and Moomin's got a 3-second penalty. Craig R is 2nd, Marsky in 3rd, Smithy in 4th, and Serious Mushroom's had to back out there, and I think that he's got no penalty, Serious Mushroom hasn't there, so he could, I think he'll be quite happy with this. Craiger, it's now Smithy up into 3rd position and passes Craiger in that full position now. Lap 28 out of 29 here. What an incredible race this has been then, as Dan leads 2nd, Marsky 3rd position. Styles has dropped down. Oh no, and Styles is in the wall. And Don of the Dons for McLaren. That could be McLaren's 2nd points of the season in the Constructors' Championship. And Don of the Dons potentially, he's got to keep going now, and he's doing a good job there. That'll face baby all over the back of the Alpine there. There is going to be a lot of repercussions after this race, I think, that because some of the race has been a lot to be desired, potentially. Oh my word. Over I can't say much. Dan 70% of the vote there. Good something movement. Mushroom has got 83% of the vote as well. I am sweating profusely here. Here comes Dan on course to win his 2nd Grand Prix of the season. What is going on? And who's that? That's Rocket League. It's turned into a nightmare for the RB team today. The 2nd RB might be able to get some points here. Smithfield Mighty up into 2nd position now. Serious Mushrooms dropped off badly. Serious Mushrooms in major peril here. I think there's a problem with Serious Mushrooms' tyres. He's drifting all over the show. Serious Mushrooms in peril and may even lose out on this podium here. Come on, Mushroom, you can do it there. Into the final couple of turns now comes Dan. What a performance here from Dan. Out to the final turn now. And Dan's going to pick up his 2nd Grand Prix win, extend this in the World Championship. Dan wins the Australian Grand Prix. What a performance there from Dan. Absolutely superlative stuff indeed. Who is going to be 2nd? Because there's a lot of penalties out there. It is going to be Smithy Almighty 2nd, Craig R in 3rd position there. Craig R's had a difficult start to the season. Hats off to Craig R. Serious Mushroom Tars just went completely kaput and he lost out by a 10th of a second. Marsky in 5th. Valface Baby in 6th with Harlow Falls in 7th. Dynamo Dan, Styles and Siggers Muck there all come through. Now what can Don of the Dons get some points? And McLaren have only scored 1 point in the first 8 races of joint constructors there. Now make it 2, and so McLaren have got 2 points there. Fantastic stuff from Don of the Dons there. And happy stuff indeed there. Well, that was quite an eventful race, wasn't it, to say the least. Hats off to Dan there. Smithy Almighty. What a drive, by the way. What an incredible drive from Smithy Almighty and Serious Mushroom there. Brilliant stuff indeed there. And from Harlow Falls as well. Of course, the reserve driver doing a superb job indeed. We'll go through the grid there. Stars, more points there for Dan potentially what could have been as well. What could have been for a lot of drivers out there. For Rocket League, for both RBs potentially there. Who was at the time was potentially involved in a race-long battle as well. Smooth Almighty driver today, and well, this shirt's rather wet at the moment, and which is not a good sign, is it? Right. Oh, my word. Well, Not sure about you guys, but I'm absolutely shattered after that. That was an incredible race indeed. Some interesting developments in there as well. Favre is going to be busy, so I hope Favre was hoping not to catch the second half of the Euro semi-final. Oh dear, oh dear. So Knowlesy thought that was an epic watch there. Well, it was an epic watch. That is definitely a sure thing. There's nothing boring about that race. Oh my word, it certainly was indeed. My tires were absolutely kaput at the end. Then Goku was saying there, as Jenna, I messed up my race on my own. No penalties. This track is lethal if you dip a wheel onto the grass there. So there's me. There's me pointing fingers at maybe there's a collision there. So unfortunate then. Shoved off despite a huge lunge, ruined me, says Serious Motion. Let's take a look at the classification from the Australian Grand Prix. Dan his second Grand Prix win of the season and extends his in the championship. Smithy Almighty, what a drive to second. Absolutely superb stuff indeed there. Third position, Craig R. I think he's got rubber the green today because he's had a very unlucky start to the season. Serious Motion driver of the day in fourth position. Marsky in fifth, what could have been for the RB team. The Alface baby in sixth there. Harlow Falls, great drive in seventh. Dynamo Dan in eighth. Styles points again in ninth. And Donald Dons, the second time McLaren has scored in this year's joint constructors. Sickers Merkel vintage 12th. Ginner gets past that point, but I don't think that's any consolidation, to be honest. Ashton, good stuff to keep going there. Duke out of the race. Slayer and Slayer Moomin 16th and 17th. And Rocket Lee 18th retirement. So Swanshanks and Duncan Dave. Indeed. Ooh. Right, let me quickly sort myself out. We're going to get some interviews on the go now, as I've got to find out who's in the old comms box there. So let's go to the race winner first, shall we? Dan, second time then on the podium, second time a winner this season, and extend your lead in the championship. That's not a bad day's work, is
it? Hello, mate. Yeah, well, it's very unexpected, given the first sort of 10, 11 laps of that race. I was going backwards very, very quickly. As soon as I put the hard tyres on, it all just changed around. So, yeah, very happy with it.
And what changed that race for you? Was that the safety car, do you think? Was it just the hard tyres and you just had so much more pace on the hard tyres?
Certainly the crash that happened ahead of me that brought out the safety car allowed me to go onto the hard tyres at exactly the right time. But in saying that, the hard tyre was definitely the better tyre as well. I was struggling to keep up with Ginner at the very start as well, when he was on the hards whilst I was on the medium, so he was sort of pulling away. I made a couple of mistakes, but he was just the quicker car at that time anyway. But as soon as I went on the hards and that crash, thankfully, I don't know who caused it, but it was about a 3-car pile-up coming down the DRS zone, and that allowed me to get into the pits at the right time and get the hards on.
I must admit, it was an absolutely horrific incident there, and unfortunately for Duncan Dave, it didn't go then. How close was you to the incident? Did you see it firsthand?
No, I was far enough back that everyone had ghosted at that time. I think the car just ahead of me, again, I can't remember who it was, may have just got caught up in it. The crash didn't ghost just in time for him, but when I got there, it was ghosted cars everywhere, and I managed to, I think I was in P3 after that. And as I say, I was going backwards very, very quickly on those mediums at the start. I don't know what was going on. I felt like I was driving a soap.
And then, of course, the second half of the race, then you had an incredible battle between yourself, Craig R, and I think Smith, and I think Serious Mushroom was in there as well. And you was on the harder tyres at the time then, so it was getting very tense at the front then. Did you ever think that perhaps I just want to relinquish the lead then and just follow these guys, or did you always think you want to command the race at the front?
Well, to start with, I was just trying to keep up with them. They were on the medium and I was on the hard, as you know, and they sort of shot off into the distance a little bit. And as they were battling, it allowed me to be brought back into it. And as the hard tyre took over the medium, then I got back into the DRS and I managed to pull out a lead. I had a 6-second penalty from very early on that I was quite concerned about, but everyone else managed to pick up a few here and there. And I think eventually I managed to gap 6 seconds anyway.
And today there's a lot of hullabaloo about the update then, and potentially the pecking order might have changed then, but it certainly hasn't then. If you got your second win today then, the update, what's the point of the update?
Yeah, I try not to listen too much to it. I think it just gets in your head. I mean, it's the game. They can make minor tweaks, but it is what it is. We just got to drive.
Second race win of the season then, going on to Japan then, the land of the rising sun then, 3 out of 4?
It's not a track I like, but neither was Australia, so you never know. We'll see.
Really good stuff. Well done today, Dan. Dan, brilliant job then. Your second Grand Prix in the season and of your career as well. Fantastic job there for the Alpine team
Thank you.
and for yourself as well. Great stuff there, Dan. Dan, brilliant.
Thank you. Cheers.
And then let's come to the gentleman who finished second today. Was it you, Smithy? I don't know.
It was indeed, I think. How long I'm going to stay there, I don't know, but
Absolutely superb stuff indeed then. And Smithy, I must say, you was coming through the field quite nicely at the beginning of the race then, but certainly the turning point for you was very similar to Dan Dan, I would say, there where that safety car came out and it really kind of set alight your race.
yeah, to be fair, I was pretty much just carbon copy. I managed to get on the hards, and from there I felt confident. I had obviously Father was letting me know who was on the tyres in front of me from the stream, and he was giving me a bit of a hand there. So I knew I just had to kind of stick with the front medium runners and hope that I could propel myself a bit further up. But then I saw Dan Dan, and I was like, he is miles ahead.
And of course, when the safety car came in, then you had an almighty scrap. Then I can't even name everyone that was in that battle. Then, but goodness gracious me, how difficult was it to try and elevate yourself up the order, but also trying to keep your wings pointed on the car? Because I must say that there is wings falling off left, right, and centre. How difficult is it just after that safety car came in?
Yeah, that was quite difficult. Like I say, it was all quite compact and tight racing. So yeah, trying to find gaps and I mean that was half the time. It wasn't even just trying to overtake someone. That was just making sure the person behind you into you and everything like that. For where everyone was kind of like obviously braking and had a knock-on effect. But yeah, in the end, that was a matter of the penalty situation because I think I was one more warning away from a 6-second penalty as well. So yeah, just a lot of management.
And it wasn't even over on the final couple of laps as well because Sirius Mushroom was limping home, and it got very cozy in turn 9 and 10. I only caught the end of it there. How difficult was that then? Because it's so with these 4 DRS zones, that the catching speed sometimes is absolutely immense. And how difficult is it to stay on your toes in those situations?
Yeah, it's quite difficult as well. And to be honest with you, I didn't even really have time to mess around with my ERS modes going through. I think I stayed on medium for the majority of the race because, like I say, there was so much to concentrate on with the cars around you and the 4 DRS zones giving everyone the boost. So yeah, that was quite tricky.
And I think this is your first podium of the season. And of course, last season you had quite a lot of podiums, and of course, you're one half of the Constructors' Champions as well. I was saying that you're potentially one of the favourites for this championship this season, but hasn't started off too well then. This podium then, do you think that this is now going to be a breakthrough and you start to rack up those podiums, maybe even get some Grand Prix wins this season?
I hope so. I hope it weren't just capitalising on a bit of a chaotic race because I think Dan's the real contender here. I mean, finishing I think it was from everyone else after a safety car in the middle goes to show the skill that he's got. So yeah, I think he's the contender here, but I'm hoping that I can be on the podium a bit more often now.
Really good stuff. Well done today, Smithy. Great drive to second position. Superlative stuff indeed. And then let's come to Craig R. Craig R. I'm gonna go straight into it. What an instant between yourself and the 2 RBs. I must admit, I do love a good old smash. But good gosh, tell us about it from your point of view, if you can.
Oh mate, I didn't even know what happened. Like I was in between the two of them, and I don't know what happened after that. I was just sandwiched. I don't even know how I kept in the race. That fact.
And who do you think that potentially maybe yourself should have backed out, or do you think one of the RBs should have backed out because it was looking very cosy there, wasn't it? But what do you make of that situation?
I mean, it's just racing into it. Just it happens. I can't really say anything else to that. It just happens.
To be honest, that's exactly it. If luckily I'm not a race steward, but of course you can't ask 3 drivers to back out going into 9 and 10. It was an incredible incident, by the way. I'm really fired up the race then. And but after that, I was very concerned about your car. Did you sustain any damage after that incident?
Very slight, but nothing worthy of going to change my wing or anything like that.
And I would say that you deserved a bit of good luck because the opening 2 races, you seem to always be on the bad end of the old luck at the moment. Then, but you finally got some good luck around here as well after that incident now to come through. So what about those first 2 races? Then, how difficult was it to come into this race knowing that you've had the speed, but it's not been able to get a podium yet?
I don't really worry about it. Just go and do the race and just get my head down and get on with it. What happens, happens. Uh, but a wee bit of practice here and there. It's nothing you can't prepare for, like.
Good man. I wish I could do that. And then of course today as well, getting on the podium as well, and superb stuff indeed. That in the final stage of the race, though, it was getting very close between yourself, Mushroom, and Smith and White was also coming as well, along with Marsky. How difficult was it to manage the end race and knowing the penalty situations? How was it? How was it difficult to keep your mind on the racing?
It wasn't easy. Just again, just try to keep the head down and try not to worry about it too much. But I'm not gonna lie, towards the end, I was kind of, sweating a wee bit. Can't lie, it was getting a bit warm.
And did you think that potentially you might have been able to get the win today after that safety car came in, knowing that Dan Dan was on the harder tyre? So did you think you might have had a? Do you think you might have been able to have a shot if you got in front of him?
Yeah, I was fully in the mind of winning the race at that point. But I think the tyres started to drop off a wee bit towards the end, and obviously he was just picking up the pace like mad. So I was just focused on keeping where I was and just getting a podium and finishing the race.
And you certainly did that. And now we're going on to Japan then for round four. Same question I asked Smithy to you then. So you've had a decent start to the season then, but now you've got this podium then. Is this now you're starting to aim for your first win in bronze?
Yeah, I fully expect to be on the podium a lot more from now on, hopefully.
And I certainly agree about them because you certainly have the speed this season, not necessarily luck, but certainly the speed. Well done, today, Craig. Great job then for your for podium today. Dan getting his second Grand Prix win of the season, superb stuff indeed. Craig and Smithy for the first time this season on the podium, fantastic stuff indeed. We are going to Japan for the next couple of days. Tomorrow night is the 100% now. Cannot wait for that. I can't actually. It's going to be miserable. And then of course Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday it is going to be gold, silver, and bronze. Then 3 races down then, and I must say the championships are now starting to go into some kind of form in there. Find out who is going to be able to extend their lead, who is going to be able to try and reel in the drivers that have had a good start to the season. You'll have to find out Sunday. Goodbye.